welcome to the Hard Truth Guys. We are on episode 4. So, with that in mind, I've been told I talk way too much on these episodes. So, we're going to turn it over to Steve, and he's gonna start today with our topics.
All right. Well, you know, there was a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Let's see. So the first one is
the audience is that way.
yeah, no, I'm looking at my notes.
Hey, pay attention.
Hunter Biden, that little middle finger that he threw up to the Senate there. Yep,
Or was
that's
it
the
this
one. It was one of those. Which
double
one do you think
barrel.
it was? Double barrel.
I think double barrel.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
double barrel.
It was this, which is a flock of those.
Oh.
I think he's just catching his balance.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what that.
So instead of going to the subpoena deposition that he was supposed to go to, he decided that he wanted to have a little press conference with his buddy Eric Swalwell, and that attorney that was with him. Interesting note: that attorney that was with him. I think the guy from I forget which committee, but he wanted to talk to that guy, and he was told that he was going to be out of the country on vacation from Thanksgiving until New Year's, but he was in Washington.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
I heard about that today.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Ooh.
So they were like,
Whoopsie.
oh, yeah. yeah.
So how this works? So he has been indicted, and then he made a. What's the word I'm looking for? What did he do? He did a podcast explaining poor as me.
Yeah.
Everybody's picking on me.
Everyone wants to kill him.
Then
Everybody's trying
with
to
the
kill him.
indictment, he was subpoenaed, and he then gave his middle finger to say, "I'm not going to the subpoena," which is on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, which is right across the street on the other side there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you're worried
All
about
right.
this, yeah.
So he decided to do that instead of go to the deposition. So basically, the Republicans are like, okay, fine. Well, guess what? The first son is going to now be charged with contempt of Congress. So, but the only thing
So
that
you have to go when they subpoena you. Obviously, you're not like, yeah, I'm busy.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
There was a couple
it's a
guys
duly-
that got in trouble when the Trump supporters. Manafort was one of them.
Yep.
Who
Okay.
didn't go, and he got busted for that, and
Yep.
then he wound up getting, picked up. And
Yeah.
so you have to go, no matter who.
But see,
Okay.
the problem with that is the issue now is to enforce anything. It comes down to the DOJ
Duh.
and Merrick Garland, Eric, whatever,
Stupid
retard.
Garland.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, what you were talking about that just before about.
Manafort.
No, Swalwell.
Oh yes.
Getting that.
Mhm.
getting
Yeah,
that-
he set that whole thing up for them, and they were showing pictures of him getting out of the car with
He was-
Biden, and
no,
you're not allowed to do
no,
that because the only way you can reserve time is I believe is a member of Congress, and he reserved that time for him.
Eric
So he was
Swalwell-
kind of like aiding and abetting him.
Eric
Is what it's-
Swalwell, he was on the Intelligence Committee, wasn't he? At one time.
Well, he's not so intelligent, but yes.
Do you know what's the coincidence between the two of those guys? They're both in with the Chinese.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
it was.
His girlfriend is.
what was his girlfriend's name?
uh,
Remember?
No, I don't remember her name. Bang Bang.
I
I just remember there's been a series of,
remember Bang Bang.
Bang Bang. It sounds like Fen Fen. Is it like they used to take her weight or something? I don't know. People used to. Wasn't isn't this a common theme? Like, wasn't that Feinstein? Wasn't her driver?
Yes. Yep. He
We're
was-
talking like
yep.
14 years, so we're talking like a long period of time that the driver.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
knew
Drivers-
about it.
So we're seeing a lot of Chinese infiltration within.
Yes.
There's
these
a lot.
government
There's a lot of
representatives.
staffers that work with certain individuals in Congress that have relations with the Chinese Republic,
Yeah.
and that's well known, but they don't do anything about it.
Yeah. And
Something I heard today before we got on, before we got together today.
So,
There
just
was
realize,
things- okay.
not all Chinese are bad. It's
No,
the Chinese government.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm not knocking them per se.
Chinese,
Right.
Chinese
Yeah.
Communist Party. I'm sorry.
It's
Don't
a
come
Chinese
after me.
Communist Party.
So this came out today. I was reading this on the Fox News Network before it came over here today. There was a video that was made in the room in the room in Congress where they do all the depositions and stuff.
The skiff.
Yeah, well, no, not the
Oh, not
private.
that one. Okay. Yeah,
when
yeah.
people gather together and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
ask the people the questions.
Yeah,
That
yep.
big old committee room there.
Yeah.
There was a guy who worked for a senator. He worked for the senator. He was involved with making a movie with another guy, and they put it online on a porn site.
What?
Yes, you heard me correctly. There was a guy that was an aide to one of the senators, and the senator's name, forgive me because I just saw it before we came on, but I had to say something about that, and we'll have more about it next week.
And what made a porno?
Made a porno and put it online on a gay site, and I found out about it.
Yeah.
Now, there's a whole, you're not allowed to do stuff like that
Well, I think if
inside the
you're-
Capitol Hall. That's the old bullet.
Interesting.
There's going to be so much trouble going on there. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
figured I'd put that out there.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're
interesting.
looking at it, what we're
Yeah,
talking
we'll
about.
see if I
it there.
could.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, how you making movies and stuff?
Oh,
I mean,
speaking
and
of
putting it
movies,
out there?
Yeah,
I don't know
if
if you've watched this one. I know you watched this one.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
you did.
It's called Leave the World Behind.
Actually, I think I just
It
watched.
was on Netflix.
Is that the one where they talk about it? It's I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Pacific House, and they're watching the world kind of, or at least the country kind of come to an end.
It was
and-
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, it was with Julia Roberts. Yeah, I just
yes.
saw this one. I actually
Interesting
just saw
side
this.
note. Don't know if anybody picked up on this. Thanks for cluing me in on this one.
Mm.
Executive producers.
Obama.
I don't know.
Big Mike.
Obama.
Big Mike.
Yeah, the executive producers, they had a lot to say about that.
Yep.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Sure did if
yep.
you watch the credits.
And,
It
you
goes
know,
on the
I
credits.
watched
But
the movie.
that
And
whole
you know what? A
premise
lot of the
is-
stuff that happens in that movie kind of scared the shit out of you.
Yeah.
It
You know,
did.
you like to wonder
did you
what-
guys see it?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I watched it.
Yep.
You have
I
to-
was a little disappointed with the end.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Let's not
yeah,
say
let's
nothing
not-
about it.
But
yes,
I'm not going to
yes,
ruin it for
I know,
everybody. I think
yes.
it could have gone a couple different
Yes.
ways.
Oh, yeah, but that was pretty stupid how they ended
So,
it.
Yeah.
actually, by
me
me saying it could go a couple different ways is probably going to make people want to go watch it, but just see for themselves.
Well, yeah, I don't want
But
to promote
give
it.
it-
not-
you know,
not-
giving
not
them
an
any
Give
ad
us
and
your
unsure
stuff
thought on
like
what
that.
you think about
But
that movie. But
definitely,
interesting concepts of what they were
You
presenting.
have to
Yes.
think about what Obama knows about some shit that's going on that we don't know about. There's an executive producer and producers in there that they were talking together, and the executive or one of the producers said he was scared to shit when you heard the stuff that Obama was telling them.
Yeah.
That
I
they didn't
would
even use.
imagine.
They didn't even use for the movie some of the stuff that he was telling them.
Yeah. It's.
Can you
know,
imagine how much shit that guy knows?
And then-
so the best thing about this movie, I think, is if you get everybody to see it, then ultimately you could kind of stop the concepts that are happening to a degree, in the sense that if people see what is occurring and they could link it to a movie concept of what they saw and piece the two together with, hey, wait a minute, this is what's trying to be accomplished,
Yeah.
then maybe you could kind of do the work around.
Right, exactly. There's
Yeah,
a lot
but
of that in that
you would
movie.
you
So,
would have to you would have to give credit to people. And a great line in, I think it was Men in Black. It was, "A person is smart, people are stupid." So you can't underestimate the stupidity of people. You know, even you put stuff right in front of people's faces and they can't see it. So
Oh, that's been
and
happening
then-
for the past few years anyway.
and
so.
then with that, a new movie coming out next year
yeah.
called Civil
Civil
War.
War, yeah.
I saw the trailer
So what's
for that.
what's the underlying theme of the movie we're
Which
speaking
one?
of? Is
So-
it don't believe everything you see?
No,
Is
it's
it?
it's just it's weird that a lot of these
They're
things are
trying to
coming
put
out.
They're trying to tell you
Yeah.
some things.
Are
that
they trying
what
to
can
tell
happen.
you something?
It's something
I'm
they're
gonna
trying to
say so-
predict the future. I think is what
but-
they're trying to do.
You see, I want to talk about it, but I don't want to
Well,
ruin it.
I
for
think they're
people.
trying to predict the future,
They
at least
are, but
to a certain
you
point.
know,
Or they're
some of
trying
the
to let
things
something the cat
that I
out of
saw
the
as far as
bag.
communication, like one of the thoughts or one of
Well,
the
let's just
pieces
say we
in
can
the
talk about
movie
one
is-
of the things. That the whole main thing was based upon an EMP attack, right?
Well, it wasn't. I didn't see an EMP.
No, it
No,
was like a
but-
three stage. But yeah, let's not give a whole lot of the movie away.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, but
But,
it was
people
because of
so-
everything they
so,
talked about in there. Had
I
something
think
to do with that.
ultimately because people are going to watch it and base what they think about the movie, but ultimately it was, or a piece of the movie was cut off communications so that people cannot communicate with each other.
Right.
So, and most of us use cell phones, use technology that
Yeah.
allows us to communicate with each other based on satellite systems, global positioning systems. So, is there any alternate method? Of course, this is some of the stuff I'm always thinking of. Is there alternate methods to be able to communicate with each other, even if the main system, like shortwave radios, ham radios, AM, CB, something other than EMP that wipes out all electronics?
And I think that this is something that we could touch on maybe a little bit every week.
We should do a little bit about survival and communications.
Yeah, a little bit about that, because it's always good to have that, because you
well,
never know. You know, it may not just be for every day. It could be, well, if you go out on vacation somewhere, you want to make sure that you're set. You know, in case something happens. I mean, I've been personally stockpiling stuff in my home for a couple of years now, like water. I just went out. Hey, you know what? When the shit hits the fan, when the shit hits the fan, and you're going to come knocking on my door, I might say, you know what?
Because we talk a lot of political stuff within our episodes, but we really could talk about, like, hey, what do we do in the event that X happens? What things should you have? What things should you protect yourself with? What type of medicines or even alternative therapies, plants, stuff that would end up saving your bacon, if you will, you know, when something happens? How do you communicate? How do you stay warm? What?
I think after the new year we can you know, communicate a lot more.
We should
about
probably
that. Do a little bit here and there every week.
It'd be fun to talk a little bit more. You know, once in a while, you know, talk about other topics other than politics.
Oh, we could talk about anything we want. That was the whole premise.
And that would be cool. I think
we could talk about what you had for dinner last night if you'd like.
I don't think anybody wants to hear that.
Well, what'd you have?
What I have for dinner?
Do you even remember? Here we go. I put you on the spot, man.
I'm old.
Okay, what'd you have for lunch today? Do you remember that?
I don't eat.
Anyway.
Chips, maybe.
No, but you're right about that. I mean, I don't want this to be a political thing every week. I really don't. But it's something. It's a jump start. It's a jump start for us. You know that.
You want to know what I had for dinner?
That's why we need you guys to put in the comments what you guys want to hear us talk about.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
Believe it or not, okay. So I did some red sockeye salmon.
Sockeye? How'd you make it?
Sockeye. I did it in the air fryer.
And
believe it or not, it was like...
Was it flaky and tender?
Yeah, but you know something?
When you say it like that, I did it in the air fryer, it sounds to me like you have this thing against an air fryer.
No, it's just... I don't... For me, I don't think I have as much experience as others with air fryers. Air fryers is probably something new to me. That I was like, air fryer? Who air fries?
Oh, it was new to me too. Until last year, I got Emerald Lagasse's air fryer, the double door thing. Matter of fact, they cooked a 5-pound chicken in that sucker today.
That's sweet.
I mean, it took all the meat off the bone and everything. Yeah, but it's
you know, I'm loving air fryers more and more. But believe it or not, it was a short amount of time. I took a baggie, threw some soy sauce, a little bit of minced garlic in with it, some brown sugar, and a little bit of spicy Dijon mustard. And I mixed it up.
Extra points for anybody who gets that.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know that.
Oh, you should know. You should
know
that.
Okay, so check this out.
Say we're old, dude.
Yeah, I know, huh? So 12 minutes later, and in the process, I took that 90-minute rice and the butter garlic rice.
90-minute rice?
I mean 90-second rice.
Oh, I was gonna say,
that's long rice.
I'm not waiting that long for rice.
I'm not waiting that long for a meal. 90-second rice, and believe it or not, in like a short period of time, it was a great meal. Some fresh fruit. And,
you'd be surprised what you can cook in that. I can't believe it. I cooked a steak in that thing one time.
I don't think I've done a steak.
Let me just tell you, you're missing out, dude. You're missing out. I cooked pork loins in there, pork chop. It's all.
You know, I must say this.
As long as you don't overcook it, you're good to go.
This is my second air fryer that I have. I still have the original one, but it was more
the basket kind.
But
you get the one with the little basket that you got to pull in and out like this.
I got
it has different shelves, racks that came with it. But however, on my old one, it said on the glass door it said where your position should be for the air fryer tray.
Right.
On the new one that I have, which is a little bit smaller, doesn't give any of that. So I'm like, is there a certain position that you're supposed to slide?
We have the same one.
Yeah,
there is a certain position you're supposed to slide it in.
Oh,
that
I didn't look at the book. I didn't look at the
instructions.
Yeah, I didn't look at the
That tells you what level rack you should have.
All right, so I always, I figure I can't go wrong with the middle. And,
that gives the even
And you
heat
can
all the way
change the,
around.
you
know
can
something
change the
that-
temperature, you can change the time
You
on it,
can.
and there's a light on it, and all you need
mine doesn't have a
hit
light.
pause,
My-
and then pull it out and check it with the little thermometer if you don't know any better.
Mine, because it wasn't that expensive, I have to wear a flashlight on my head. But all in all, I really kind of like air frying.
It's good.
It
Especially
seems
for
a
the
lot
winter.
quicker. Like what?
For the winter, when you can't go outside, if it's too cold or raining and shit,
I still like microwave, but one of the things I always
Microwave dries the
hated
shit
about
out, man.
I hated about microwave is it turns it rubbery. It's not. I mean, yes, it's good for heating up water, doing an egg.
Welcome
doing
to the
stuff
Good
like
Food
that.
Guys
Yes,
channel.
it is good food. Look at this. This is why we're talking about food. Come on, but
No, hey, did you hear? I'm going to change topic real quick. Did you hear Tucker Carlson's got a new site out? His new network, Tucker
No, I
Carlson
did not know
Network.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's at-
TCN. Yeah, he's got a new network out
TCN?
now.
Tucker
TCN.
Carlson
Yeah,
Network.
yeah.
I like
My
I
it.
question
looked into it a
is-
little bit. I think you got to pay a little bit of money.
my
but
question
it's
is,
not that much.
A, how does he afford it, and B, how does he get? Everything goes through a government agency at some point. In this case,
Nope.
anything
No, not
transmission-wise
we're not
goes
going
through
through-
federal communication.
But we don't need.
But this is internet. Everything.
And
So you're
that's-
banging from what we're filming to the upload to YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
Hitting the internet,
Right.
it's being stored on a server somewhere, and people are viewing it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
ultimately, it hits through some sort of regulatory agency.
As long as you follow what the FCC says and the
Right.
laws
Yeah,
and stuff.
but it seems like a lot of times that you gotta cross your T's and dot your lowercase J's.
Well, thank you.
It's
Thankfully, it hasn't come to that where the government's trying to step into something that they
but
can't
you're
do.
talking major news outlets,
Right.
So like as far as like say NBC, CBS,
Fake news.
Fox News, CNN, all
Well,
of
that's not
these
cable.
are all regulatory agencies.
Most of those are
that-
not cable, though. Most of those you can see on regular TV.
So
When
if you
you're on
have
cable-
enough money,
Yeah.
can you start your
Yeah,
own
sure.
network, so to say?
If you opened up the safe in your house, we could have our own network going on here.
I'm on a safe. What? Safe? What? Safe? Like a safe place? Like what? Like a safe room?
Safe
like,
room?
like a bathroom? Like what do you
No, I'm just saying is that if you have enough money, you are correct. You can do whatever you like.
Well,
to.
you're talking. You're talking to the guy behind.
What do you got, a mouse in your pocket? Yeah, there's some good topics today. It's funny. See, and this is what we like. We don't want it to be this rigorous. All right, I'm reading from my notes now, and
Not
this is what I
sponsored
need
by.
to say. And not
So you
sponsored
got-
by.
Have you guys been hearing what's been happening up in Boston lately? Boston.
Boston?
Boston.
You hear what the mayor did up in Boston?
No.
Your brother from Boston?
No, I ain't got no brothers in Boston.
What? No brother.
There's a mayor up in Boston. Now
Okay.
she's of Oriental descent. Is that the proper way of saying it? Because I don't know what nationality she is. So.
Asian or
Asian.
I'm not
Okay,
sure. I'm not
Asian,
actually
okay.
whatever's politically correct. Really,
Well,
is what we're trying.
yes.
We're
to
not politically correct over here, are we?
Well, we don't want to offend any groups.
I'm not
of
trying to
people.
offend. That's why I'm
Yeah,
saying
we're
I don't know
just
which
doing
way.
all
Yeah, we
that.
don't know, so
But
we just say
however.
Yeah, however, she
It's-
had a
it's
party,
the
had
correct
hosted
way.
a party. I don't know if it was for the government agencies
I
or
saw it,
something.
but I didn't look into
Right.
it.
But the party was only for.
Where's she from?
Wait a
Oh,
minute, wait a
wait,
minute. It was
oh,
only for.
Where's she from?
Boston.
It's not that it's in
No,
Boston.
where's
She's a
she
mayor of
from
Boston.
originally?
I don't know. That's what I'm
Don't
saying. She's of Asian descent.
So I know at one point like there it was considered Pacific American or Americans.
She could have
It
been
was-
born. She could have been
and
born
so,
here for all I don't
Asian
know.
American, Pacific Americans. It's right.
So
I don't. You really don't.
I don't know.
I know you almost want to. Don't
I'm sure
say
if I
it.
went, if
Right.
we went and looked at it, we could find it. But we don't need to
Ah,
do that.
right.
No.
But the whole thing.
The
was
whole goal
she-
is we don't want to offend anybody for.
She
saying
had a
something.
party,
Okay.
and let's just say when Julio showed up, he was turned away, and then when our friend Malcolm, when he showed up, he was turned away. But when Steve and Chuck showed up, there it was okay.
Oh.
You get where I'm coming with this?
You're saying that. So you're saying that this person had a party, and if you were of African American descent, or If you were black, if you will, you were turned away. If you were
You got it. You got it.
and
Yeah.
who else?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, if you were Hispanic
Right.
or
If
Latino
you were
or whatever,
non-white.
you were not
if
allowed.
you were not white,
But if you were gay or part of the LGBTQ,
you probably
Well,
were allowed. I'm not
then
sure
you
about
were
that.
allowed to go
I
to
just
the
know
party.
that
So you're saying that
you
it
were
was
white.
exclusive to the LGBTQ
No,
plus
just
No, it has
white.
nothing to do with
Just
that.
white. Had nothing to do with that at all.
Oh,
Just
oh,
white.
it was just
White.
mainly
Just white.
if you were
If
white.
you were white.
Oh,
Now remember what I said? She's of a different
sure,
ethnicity, right?
right.
And who's she's married? She's married, and her husband is white.
Oh.
But how the hell can you do something like that? Have a party and say only white people are allowed?
Yeah,
Really?
that's not good.
What if somebody said, "Oh, we're gonna have a party only black people are allowed"?
Well, they do that.
Well, that's
But that's-
speakeasy,
but that-
so
but that's
that,
not-
those are cool. I went there. I've been
Oh,
there.
I think,
No, no, no,
I
no,
think
no,
anything
I'm-
anybody does that excludes groups of people, obviously,
Yeah.
stands
No,
out
no,
as
I-
being
I
bad.
just think that
But
that
they-
is just downright.
But when you do that,
And is she
it
still the mayor?
doesn't- Well, is she?
I think so.
Well,
Right now, I know she had a press conference yesterday or today, and boy, oh boy, were they giving it to her.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah.
See, I didn't hear anything about this.
No,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, definitely. I cannot believe it. She had the goal to say that, and then she's married to a white guy. I don't get where some of these politicians think that they can just go ahead and do whatever they want to. I mean, she is a politician because she's part of
Yeah.
the
Well, again,
government. She's
you're,
part of
you're
the
supposed
government.
to you're supposed to
aspiring-
represent the people,
Yeah, yeah.
and that includes all people. It's a cultural melting pot.
It is.
It's all groups of people should be accepted.
look,
What, would you find something over here?
look
Make
at
sure
what I
there's
found.
no noise on.
I
here,
did,
so
I
this
did.
is- What are you
There'll be no
searching on
episode
over here,
one.
man?
Not safe for work. Capitol Hill rocked by sex tape scandal featuring famous Senate hearing room.
See, that's what I was talking about.
What's
See,
your
it's there.
source?
It's there.
My
Fox
source,
News.
right? Fox News.
Fox News.
Fox News.
Fox
Fox
is
News.
a
You gotta
source.
have a source there.
Hey, got to know your source. Remember when we used to do
Yes.
a poke
Yeah.
report and we had to write down bibliography? And we had
That's
yeah,
right.
right.
Yeah,
So,
interesting.
Did you hear that the Supreme Court is stepping in a little bit on some of these indictments that Trump has? One of them's getting canceled. One of them, like not canceled.
the thing that I read today was about a judge that stated that with his corrupt businesses or charges associated with, said that you need to shut down these businesses.
That's in New York.
And right,
Oh, that's what
and,
that-
There was
and-
one in
and
and
there
there
was
was
something
one in
that
Georgia
said
that there's
can't do
it's
that.
not going to come to fruition.
Oh, there was something in Georgia that I
Yeah, yeah,
saw. What was
yeah.
that said?
It said that the Supreme Court got involved with it, that they took it off the docket. He's not going to be
Good.
heard. It's supposed to be on March 24th, I think it was. So the hearing's not going to be held. That's all I know about that right now.
Okay, so
Which is
excellent.
good.
So it's
So-
null and void.
So
Yeah.
looks like he's getting off on that one, which
And
is
then-
good because that's the start of it. Because
Right.
You
And
know
then
his poll numbers
they
are
su-
shooting up the
yeah.
hell up there. Oh, man.
Jack Smith, that retard from New York, he decided that he wanted to skip the appeal process and go right to the Supreme Court and have the Supreme Court take up the issue with Trump's case in New York, which is kind of stupid because that just proves that there is no equal protection under the law, and then there is no due process because he's being treated differently. And he himself said that, oh, well, this is a special person. This is a special, circumstance that we should skip the appeals department and go right to the Supreme Court.
They're trying to convict him so then he cannot run for president.
Well, that's
the
because
only reason why
we're
they're
coming
doing
close
all
to
this.
elections.
Right.
Right. Well, it
That's
doesn't
the only
matter.
reason why
It
they're
doesn't.
doing it.
It doesn't matter though. You can be a convicted felon, and you could actually be in prison and still run and still be elected president. And if he's in prison, yeah,
You could be a convicted felon and still
Yep.
be president of the
You
United
can.
States.
I didn't think you were allowed to do that.
Yep, you can.
wow.
Yep, he
You can't have a firearm, but you could be
exactly.
you could be
well, he doesn't
president.
need it because he'll have Secret Service.
Well, this is true.
right, but yeah, he could if they put him in jail for
Can't
any
have
of
a
these
pew-pew.
charges.
Can't have what?
Can't have a pew pew. You can't say
Pew pew, pew
Yeah,
pew.
yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it correct.
Yeah,
That's
we don't
Correct.
offend anybody.
that's true.
Yeah, but
Oh.
you could
I never
actually
thought
be,
about that,
you
really.
could actually
All
be a
right.
prisoner.
Hey,
You could run for president, be elected, And the funny thing is, then all you have to do is pardon yourself, and boom, you're out of jail.
Well, that's what they were trying to say, that Oatmeal Brains Biden was going to try and pardon his son before he gets in all this trouble.
He can only, a president can only pardon someone
don't-
on federal charges.
Oh,
So
Well,
the
the
only
charges he's got, they were federal.
so
the
how
state
would that?
Right.
I think that would completely backfire. So your son gets convicted of charges. You, as a president, pardon your son, and then the election happens. Really, people are going to be like, "What?"
Hey, people will still be like, that's okay because he did nothing wrong. But if that was one of the Trump kids and Trump did that, freaking Joy Behar,
So I
she'd be
got
the
this
only-
one last topic. I know we're probably getting close to being done. I wanted to try and fit in real quick that
All
I
right.
did a lot of research on. Well, not a lot of research. I heard a lot of stuff, and I did
Okay,
research
cool.
a lot of
You
it.
listen to the
But
radio for 12 minutes. All right.
Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, remember
Okay.
the
Yep.
when they
Mar-a-Lago.
raided that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the reason why we find out that
That's
it's all coming-
overvalued.
Yeah.
No,
I
that's
got
probably
some
worth
notes, so I
every
might
penny.
look down a little bit. I got notes. I might look down at this and stuff. But Trump had documents about Crossfire Hurricane.
Yep.
We all know what that is about, right?
Yep. That was
The opening to get into Russia, right?
Yeah,
The
yep.
Russia
the collusion thing.
investigation, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
which led to the Mueller report, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're following that, right? So Trump has those
You know,
documents
this would have all been handled way better with a different padlock.
Well, hold on here.
Yeah,
Listen to
different
this though.
padlock.
I understand with that too, but
But-
here's why this happened, and suppose a lot of people are running with this, so I figured we can
Okay,
run with it.
let's see.
So he had those documents,
I
and
thought it
then-
was the Steele document that.
No, that was
No.
That was part of it.
so
Okay.
they had the Russian investigation which was the Crossfire Hurricane, which led to the Mueller report that
Okay.
implicated the FBI, DOJ, and the Biden administration.
Yep.
Okay, that they
Okay.
had some shit to do with that, right?
Right.
And likely, here's the key: the Obama administration.
Oh well, yeah.
Okay,
because-
so now he has those documents there. Okay, stored away, locked up, one lock, two locks, whatever it is. He has those there. So Joe Biden,
I like locks.
what's that?
I said I like locks.
Oh, what? What kind of locks do you like?
locks and socks.
So Joe
Like
Biden,
locks and
he
bagels.
wanted to classify these documents. What is it here? I can't even read my own writing here. Oh, but he couldn't because they were not from his presidency.
Right.
He wanted to try and document, try to classify them.
them.
So he couldn't do it. So that without getting permission from the National Archives, you
Right.
can't
Right.
do that. Once the president has them, you can't do it.
Ha-
Uh,
So how do you initially get these documents when he was president?
you can take anything you want. Trump
Them
you
from-
can take whatever documents you want.
He
And
just
when
didn't return them at that point, or
Well,
Whatever it
whatever it
was,
was, he had those documents,
okay.
and Biden wanted to.
Trump
He
wanted
wanted
to.
No, Trump had the documents.
Right.
Biden wanted to.
Get them
he
back.
wanted to classify them so
Classify
they couldn't
them,
come
So,
out.
oh, got it.
Right.
All right.
Because whatever Trump had was already declassified.
Right.
Ah.
Right.
Oh, he was looking for a reclassification.
Yeah.
So,
So he couldn't get that without contacting the National Archives, which they gave him permission to go ahead and do that. So that's why they went in there. They went in there and raided it, so they get those documents out of there.
Huh.
So that way, because they now they reclassified them.
my question is this: Does anybody have a photocopier? Like, because you hear like they ran in there and got the documents. At some point somebody's like, you know what? Why don't we just photocopy these things, bury them in the backyard somewhere, and just return the rest of it to the National Archives? And there you go. Nobody
that's
comes
a
up,
crime.
but you have the information.
Because that's a crime.
But all
Oh,
this goes to
that's a
prove
crime.
at the
Okay,
very
okay,
end
yeah,
is
so-
that the Obama was probably in on that. Knew
Oh
what was
yeah,
going
he
on.
knew what was going on.
Biden knew exactly. He sent, Garland out there to go take care of business.
Yep.
And all this time they're like, no, they didn't have anything to do with it. That's bullshit. It's all coming out now. It's bullshit. There's lots of stuff coming out in the next
Yeah.
few weeks. So.
Hopefully, the next couple of weeks we will
Does-
have.
Doesn't it always seem like there's a lot coming out? There's always some news story of
Well,
something going
It should
on.
be pretty slow the next couple of weeks because everybody's supposedly
Well,
away.
yeah, we'll see. And then, like I said, we still have. So next week we are gonna have a little something different.
Keep
do
saying
some,
that. I still don't know.
I heard
Gotta be something
See-
different because
see
I don't know.
See, that makes him special.
it's a surprise to you and me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, so like I said, hey, we hope you liked what you heard today, like what you saw. Remember to subscribe, leave a comment, please. Let us know what you think.
Give us your air fryer recipes.
give this guy your air fryer recipe. Like us on, we actually have the Facebook page up now, The Hard Truth Guys. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter.
I'm working on Rumble.
Still working on Rumble.
I'll
still
get
waiting
there.
for
It's
Mr.
more
Bongino.
just a low growl at this point than a rumble.
Yes.
That's all right.
Yes.
We'll get there.
We're still waiting for Mr. Bongino's advice on what we should do here.
Hey, soon we're gonna have some stuff to give away, maybe sell.
Oh,
like some cups and
some merch.
hats.
You-
Yeah, some
merch.
merch. Yeah,
Are you securing some merch?
I'm trying to secure
Merch.
some merch.
All right.
Hey, not like merch.
Hey, so leave us some feedback. We certainly appreciate you watching
Yep.
our channel. And just remember, there's nothing like the hard truth.